Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Steve Talks. My name is Steve, and let's react to Destiny 2 isn't a video game, it's an addiction. I wanted to react to this video first because it is so true, like I dealt with Destiny 2 addiction for the longest of times. I've been playing Destiny 2 for the past 10 years. Yeah, I remember still I bought a PS4 specifically just to play Destiny 2. I played the beta on the PS3. Then when the PS4 released, I said I have to have it just to play Destiny 2, and I've been playing it since. We'll cover more as we go, the more stories and stuff. My videos usually are non-scripted. I say what I want. I just have like a basic pointers, like I have it here on my iPad, like what I want to, because I don't want to forget, like what I want to speak on. So let's just go ahead and react.
Addicted to Destiny.
I'm addicted to Destiny 2 now. It's kind of my fault. It's kind of your
You know what? Accepting that you're addicted is, I think, the first step to, improving and getting out of that addiction, because games nowadays, especially live service, they are made in such a way that once they get your hooks in you, it is very difficult to get out of those hooks. Uh, Also, if you can see, the camera angle is weird and the mic I'm using is a wireless mic. It's because I had a USB mic, but it just connecting, disconnecting. I said, fuck it. I'm going to buy a new one when Black Friday comes. Same with a face cam. So right now I'm using my phone. Just bear with me, guys, for 1 or 2 months, please.
fault.
You've got to have that one game you always return to, and for me that's Destiny, and it's becoming a unhealthy habit, which is why I want to not play Destiny
Good
tomorrow,
job
but I'm
accepting,
playing
bro.
it tonight because we're so
I'll
close.
just-
Destiny 2 is a retirement home for millennial FPS gamers, and I guess I've been.
Oh, by the way, if there are ads on this channel, I'm going to watch the ads wholly. Like, I don't know why it's not showing. I think because this account is still linked to my YouTube Premium account. So let's see. But shout out to the creator, RennsReviews. I'm going to even link the video and everything down below. Full credit to this guy.
fully admitted I keep trying to break out, and they drag me by the walker, and they pull me right back in. They pull me right back in, and I can't get away. Please send help.
When I stopped playing Destiny, the first couple of weeks I started suffering from withdrawal. Like, I'm
know
not
that, man.
joking.
I know
I was
that.
missing it. Like, if I missed a week, I'm gonna miss a whole week of leveling and stuff like that.
That is the worst feeling, I tell you. Even right now, I'm going through it. You know what stopped me finally was, I'll tell you the story. So we started Destiny 2, like me and my brother, okay, we play together. So we just had one PS4. So we started Destiny 2 on this one account. And when we started Season of the Worthy, the worst time to become a Destiny 2 player. And I remember 3 hours we were stuck on the Fallen Saber strike because we didn't know how to kill an Overlord champion. Somehow my brother was put in with other noobs, as you can say. 3 hours these guys were trying to brute force the Overlord champion, okay, in a nightfall just to get better loot. I then somehow went to Google, but till I researched and everything, that okay, you need a specific kind of a hand cannon with that mod and stuff, because back in the day it was bad, guys. Season of the Worthy, it was bad. So my brother somehow brute forced it. He came happily into my room. Yeah, we brute forced this just to get squashed in the next room. So yeah, when he says that, you just want, when it's addicting, when Destiny gets its hooks on you, nothing like it.
And I was going through severe withdrawals.
Darren actually does online gaming. He mostly plays, well, pretty much all the time plays this game called Destiny, which is epic. I thought he said he was going to come to bed with me, and he actually was just going, yeah, because he was too into
We have all
playing the
been there,
game.
okay? We have all been there.
Sorry, I'm yawning.
Man, I want to be
Yeah,
closer,
so like
but
he's so
I can't
into it and stuff. So
because of the camera angle, I have to stay back, so that my whole face comes in.
So what if we're addicted
Oh, this guy's
to
Rents
Destiny?
Reviews, by the way.
I was addicted to Destiny 1 for 3 years, and look at me. I come outside now to go to GameStop to buy silver because my mom won't let me use her credit card to buy it off of Steam. And
That
you
is
know, up
going
until
so
now,
good,
I was
and
doing
then
so
the silver.
well too. I hadn't touched the Dest in nearly 4 years. But then last week I decided, hey, I'll make a video about how addicting Destiny is, only to once again find myself addicted to Destiny.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Oh, that sound.
Bungie boys have perfected the
I love Joe
formula of
Blackburn,
the
by the
live
way.
service
Oof.
game, far surpassing the
He
live
had the balls to go on live stream and, do that Lost Sector where he got absolutely mauled by that Overlord champion, which I still to this day believe some glitch or something. He was juiced up, guys. Like, that Overlord champion had way too much health. Like, we clown him, but oh man.
Overwatch, Anthem, The Division, Warframe, and Halo Infinite in both player count and raw gameplay, putting Bungie on the mountaintop of this genre. And that's partially because the game is so addictive.
Why do I think there's a
I
lot
played
more puns where that came from?
Destiny 1 for thousands of hours because yes, it is a fun game, but also because I was hopelessly addicted to it. Then I played Destiny 2 for like another 1,000 hours in an attempt to chase the high
That's
that
it,
the
that's
first
rookie
game
numbers,
gave me,
bro.
but to no avail. Even though I would argue that current
4,892 hours, I think, yeah. Not proud of it.
Destiny 2 has even more addictive properties than the first game did. So based off the title, some of you may think that I'm going to try and use this video to provide empirical evidence for as to why you should stop playing Destiny, but that's not at all my intention. Really, I just found all of this so fascinating and somewhat worrying, so I wanted to talk about it. Like, did you know that Bungie uses the same behavioral science techniques that casinos use to keep the elderly hooked on slot machines, to keep people like me hooked on Destiny?
666, the
There's
devil's
nothing more
number.
alluring than the prospect of winning thousands of dollars with the simple press of a button. Now, Grandma's probably never going to win that big jackpot, but the
poor
idea
Grandma.
of winning it is on the back of
Just
her mind.
chilling there
each and
nicely, you know,
every
like
spin,
that's a job.
keeping her glued to that machine.
Oh man.
Every once in a while, you'll get a decent spin that gives you some of your money back. Maybe you'll get a bonus round, which is essentially 10 free spins. You can win pretty big during a bonus round. But most of the time, a spin just leads to you losing most of your Patreon money.
Did he win?
I got 4 cents. And when you lose that money,
4
you feel
cents.
sad and frustrated.
What will you do with so much wealth,
you
man?
hit the button again and re-experience the excitement of the possibility that you might become
That is
rich,
Destiny 2, bro. With
like
the
I'm
god roll
about to
chases and
right
stuff.
now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reels, 0 cents. And when it doesn't work out in your favor,
Oh, there's the same bad feeling I get when I remember Grasp of Avarice when it came. I still remember to this day. 200 runs just to get a 3 out of 5 IS Luna. 200 freaking runs. You know? And my brother, I think he still hasn't got a good sniper rifle or whatever sniper came with that, I think. I don't remember, but he still I think got his IS Luna, I think on the 150th run. And I still kept going, and nope, I finally gave up. I'm like, nah, bro. Because that time when the hand cannon had come, it was very sticky, you know, especially in controllers. Chef's kiss, but 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, I don't remember yet, but that's why crafting is important for people like us. People say they hate crafting and stuff. I think there's a good middle ground where they came from Into the Light, where you just focus on that weapon and that keeps dropping, but I think they could have made it way better. Like, I don't know why Bungie is afraid of giving us loot, I mean, in a looter shooter. Why not just, you know, oh, my screen dimmed off. Like, you know, why not just give us loot? If Into the Light, just say for example, I focused on the Hammerhead. Every run I get Hammerhead, what's the problem, you know? Like, why is it just 50% chance or 60% chance you're going to get Hammerhead? Like, why? Just, it's RNG upon RNG upon RNG. I discovered it's worse in the first Descendant. That's a video for another time, but yeah, let's continue.
cycle just continues until you eventually leave the machine. But I'm not leaving, I'm actually going to get more money because I think this one's going to hit soon. Now equate that to Destiny, where returning to Banshee, Shaxx, or Zavala with an engram in your inventory is kind of like its own spin at the slot machine. Each engram holds the potential of being a god roll weapon, and a god roll weapon is Destiny's equivalent of a jackpot. This one here isn't a god roll.
Just watching this video makes me want to go and play again, dude. And the thing is, I'm just this close, you know, my fingers are way too close to go back. Why? Because I'm at level 180 right now in Echoes episode 1. I just want to finish off the battle pass. So I just want to go back, but I know if I go back, it's been 1.5 months I haven't touched Destiny. So I just want to get off it now. Enough.
Close. It's more like a Mother Mary roll. Every gun that drops into your inventory from any activity has that very same potential of being a god roll. And with such potential comes excitement. And that excitement is a big part of what kept me coming back. Every time you run the raid, you most likely do it to earn the exclusive raid exotic. So each raid run comes with the exciting potential of buffing out your collection. Then when you don't get the gun you were hoping for, you get sad and frustrated. So what do? You run the raid again and again until you get your gun, and when you finally get it, it feels pretty god-drang awesome. I know this because I've been there.
Did he say god-drang awesome?
times to get the
He's a master of
Mythoplast. I played
puns,
the
dude. Like,
Nightfall on all 3 characters to get 27 strange
Oh,
coins
man.
each week so that I could buy whatever Zur was selling. I went to the lighthouse as many times as possible to increase my chances of getting the Yallarhorn. I played for untold
let me check if it's recording, guys. One sec. Yeah, I'm good.
hours each and every day. I stopped talking to people. I became
doing
the
it for the first
recluse
time, okay?
of our
Cut me some
friend
slack.
group. I stayed in and played Destiny as
I
much
promise
as I
you I'll
could
get better.
because I was hooked, man. Now, Destiny isn't nearly as bad as a casino slot machine, but it still got me sitting in front of a machine nonetheless. And all of this falls under a behavioral theory
Fuck
called
trials, bro.
reinforcement
Fuck
schedules. So there's this
trials.
article I found that was written by John Hobson, a guy who has a PhD in behavioral and brain sciences.
I mean, I don't hate trials. Just to clarify, I have gone flawless multiple times, and if I put enough effort, like every week, I can go flawless. You know, my brother, on the other hand, is very good at trials. Like every week, guaranteed, he will go flawless. For me, I have to put in some efforts. You know, that's just because I don't like using meta guns all the time. Okay, I like using my pulses. I like using my auto rifles. I can with igneous hammer, yeah, I can 3-tap people again and again, and go flawless and stuff. But that just gets boring. Okay.
He says this: "One day, B.F. Skinner ran low on the small food pellets he gave the rats in his experiments. Rather than risk running out and having to stop work for the day, he began to provide the pellets every 10th time the rats pressed the lever instead of every time.
You know what
Experimenting with
this
different
experiment reminds me of? I had read this experiment a couple of years ago, I think. They poked rods in the rat's brain, yeah, and every time they made the rat push a button. So every time he pushed a button, he got pleasure, like, endorphins, his brain exploded with pleasure. He kept pressing it so much, he eventually died. That just shows the human nature, okay? Like, enough, you give us enough pleasure, and I think that's what's happening here, and this is the same thing.
regimens of reward, he found that they produced markedly different patterns of response. From this was born a new area of psychology, and one that has some strong implications for game design.
The main thing is what we call schedules of reinforcement.
even showing the
Reinforcement,
waves.
what Leyland calls reward, and you can schedule it so that a reward
We'll see
occurs
that
every now and
Garden
then when
rank
the pigeon
0.
does something. We usually use a response with a pigeon pecking a little disc, and you can reinforce with food, but you don't reinforce every time. You're every 10th time, or perhaps only once every minute or something like that. And that is at the heart of all gambling devices, and has the same effect. A pigeon can become a pathological gambler just as a person can.
Now, what makes this article so interesting is that the guy who wrote it went on to work for Bungie for nearly 6 years, where he went on to found the research and analytics team, which conducted over 300 studies of various types, including focus groups and user interviews. In other words, he practically spearheaded all of the addictive qualities that both Destiny games possess. He goes on to talk about variable ratio contingency, which is when a specific number of actions are required, but that number changes every time. A player might be required to shoot down approximately 20 enemy fighters to gain an extra ship, but the precise number is randomly generated each time. The player does not know how many actions are required.
Which now
I
are
think
extinct,
it's pretty
but yeah.
obvious where this applies to Destiny 2. After every couple hundred kills or so, an enemy you killed will randomly drop a legendary engram.
Ooh, there it is.
Sometimes even an
There it
exotic
is.
engram, making that kill feel extra special, making you feel a little extra special, perhaps.
Oh, he dropped an exotic. Whoa.
Sometimes they'll even drop a prime engram, which will have gear inside of it that will raise your power level. But you have to take that to the tower to decrypt,
Raoul,
which is
I
also
despise
tapping
you,
into
Raoul.
delayed gratification. Then Bungie keeps us at a constant hunger for more content, which they satiate by slowly trickling out little things here and there over the course of a season, making sure not to over-deliver, as stated by Justin Truman, Destiny 2's general manager, in a
This presentation single-handedly started the downfall of Bungie, dude. Like, when this came out, oh my god, don't over-deliver and stuff. Bro, you're not even delivering the D. Forget over-delivering. You're not even delivering the bare minimum, bro. And oh my goodness, bro.
A very recent
This-
GDC presentation,
this was
because
single-handedly
over-delivery sets them up for failure. This entire presentation is also pretty upsetting, I think. It's separate to what we're talking about here, but boy,
If you're a true
reading
Destiny
through
fan,
this
you
was
know
really
how upsetting
sad,
this was
but
when
that's
it came
a
out,
completely
like-
different topic altogether. Getting back on track, what Bungie could do is they could release the entirety of a season's content all at once. But if they did that, most people would complete all of it within the first week or two and would have less of a reason to log back in each week.
My point exactly. These games, like live service, they thrive on retention, okay? Like, that's why you have this long-winded quests. Even Call of Duty now. Like, every week they give us some awesome they release a weapon part or something, like the jack kits they call them, like the aftermarket parts, but they release it every week by a set of challenges, so every week you have to come back. That's how they retain, and that's what looks good as an investor. I've done my MBA in marketing, so as a marketer, when you see that, oh, the retention numbers are good, that's what matters, because you can milk more money from them every week. You release this bundle, oh, I want to buy this bundle right now. That's how they do it.
And if you stop playing this game for a week or maybe even a month, then there's a good chance you might not come back at all.
When I stopped playing Destiny, I was going through severe withdrawals, but after like 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
You
that
feel
went.
better.
And after that went, I never looked at Destiny again. And my life was better for it.
When my life started becoming better, when I stopped giving a crap about the weapons, okay? Like, it took my brother a long time to realize that, because I was ingraining in him, sorry, that your weapon doesn't need to be fired. I used to tell him the Iron Man meme. If you think you need that to be better over others, you don't deserve it, dude. If from a base Igneous hammer you can't defeat that person, sometimes, okay, I agree that, a moving target, this, that, and all for controllers and stuff, it's essential. But if you didn't get the range stat, you just got a stability, and you're still grinding trials hundreds of hours just to get that range stat, nah, man, that's what they want from you. But once I stopped giving a crap, I said, okay. And once crafting came out, that was game over, bro. I
They
don't give
want
a...
to keep us
Even with
playing for
crafting, I'll just tell you, like, I haven't completed all the weapons from the latest raid. I just have the... don't even remember the name. Oof. It's been that long since I haven't touched Destiny, and it's been out of my mind, okay? So... oh my god, it's all fogged up outside. Yeah, getting back on it, which is the linear fusion rifle, the special linear fusion rifle. As soon as I got that, because I just kept doing the bosses, that's it. And I think even I didn't do the boss. I was just telling my brother to do it. I was so done with the game at that point.
as long as possible. So one way they do that is they keep us hungry so that we keep eating. And who wouldn't be hungry for more Destiny content? The gameplay is amazing. I started playing Destiny 2 again.
I'm sorry, I keep pausing the video again and again, but that's the thing. You know why people come back to Destiny? Not the story can be the absolute shite, like the bottom of the barrel. But the gunplay, I don't think any developer has yet to, replicate Bungie's formula. And I think that's why Bungie doesn't change the Tiger engine. People say, oh, just switch to Unreal, just switch to Unreal. Yeah, the game will look 100 times better. I can guarantee you that. But the spaghetti code that they have, why they're putting up with that? Because there's just something to it, dude. Like, I firmly believe like the game can be crap, but if the foundations are good, the same thing with Final Descendant. I have over 500 hours logged in it. Like the foundation of the game, the movement for me, movement is everything in a game, and the gunplay. So the base movement, getting around here and there, and the gunplay, if it's good, I'll put up with a bad story or something as long as it's fun. That's what now as I've grown up, I seek fun from a game. I've stopped giving crap about, oh, I need to play it on the hardest difficulty and put myself through this misery. Nah, I'll put it on easy. I'm fine with that.
And for the purpose of this video, and it
It's a video game, right? In the end.
immediately sunk its hooks back into me. I was instantly reminded of why I loved it as I was forced into the latest season's mission where the combat and movement
so
felt
much with
smooth
Queen.
as butter. As I smoothly detonated butterflies and watched Hive acolytes
Bro, this guy's
cremate
punch is on
before my
another
very
level.
eyes. The scenery was beautiful. The music was awesome and the presentation was amazing as
Oh,
Eris
it is.
Morn had ascended into a member of the Hive.
You
I
remember
thought
when
this
the
was a
presentation came and everybody started spelling Ayat, Ayat, Ayat. That was some fun times, man.
a fantastic
Oh,
way
man.
to organically combine the grind of Destiny with the season's storyline.
Bring me your tithes.
As each little battle or activity would lend itself towards leveling up Eris Morn. I could feel its hooks sinking even deeper as I looked at all these cards I could unlock.
these
which would
opaque
grant me with
cards where I
additional
spent so
powers
many
in the seasonal
hours.
activities, and I felt an urge to unlock them all. And so far, after just one activity, I had already picked up 2 cards.
I don't
And
know
to
why
fully
people don't remember Witch Queen fondly, but for me, I think it was the best of the best. Of course, the final shape topped everything, but Witch Queen, when the time it came out, oh man, it reinvigorated so many, so many of us came back. Friendships were born again, and so many things happened during Witch Queen. I will never forget that experience, man. Witch Queen for me,
activate one of them, it said I needed to complete a bunch of public events, and I didn't like that. So I immediately logged off the game, because even though I haven't played Destiny in years, I am still so incredibly sick of completing public events.
I'd much
guy
rather
hates
come out
public
into
events.
public and go to a real event, even if
Really?
it's one that I might not fit into very well.
But a couple hours later, I
You guys
logged
cool?
back into Destiny 2 and got to work on completing some public events like a good little
We've all
guardian.
been there, bro.
And I
We've all
unlocked
been there.
that card, only to discover that to reap its benefits, I would need to unlock 4 more. I didn't like that. It made me feel like the public events I completed were all for nothing, unless of course I were to continue playing, which I did. And when I walk away from a Destiny 2 play session, I often feel unsatisfied and somewhat disappointed. It's actually very similar to the feeling I'd get after scrolling through Twitter or watching short-form content for too long.
Whenever I meet somebody new, I say, "Hi, how are you?"
Like,
Good.
yeah, admittedly, I had a decent time while it was in front of me, but I don't feel that I had a valuable play session. I'm left yearning for more substance in the form of challenging
Armored Core.
gameplay or mastering a new skill. And yeah, good for Bungie that this game has gone on for 10 years and will probably continue on for several more. But there's something to be said about definitive endings, not just for overall seasonal storylines and character arcs, but for games in their entirety. It's nice to feel like you actually finished something,
which
or
is
at the
this
very
game?
least are working towards finishing something. After a 2-hour play session, I don't feel like I got enough done given the amount of time I put in.
doesn't
All I
respect
was
our
able
time.
to do was 2 Nightfall.
That's when I started getting more outraged, that I did so much, yet I still didn't get the reward I wanted. Like, it doesn't respect our time, it doesn't respect our time. That's the thing.
And 4 Crucible matches. I made barely any progress towards anything. And when I walk away feeling unsatisfied, I usually feel even more compelled to return to Destiny 2 because I want to rectify that dissatisfaction by
Yes.
coming back to complete those tasks and unlocking more stuff, thereby granting me some satisfaction.
Oh, baby.
Destiny
Oh,
leaves
baby,
me with
yeah.
a hole in my heart.
Get
It makes
that
me
rocket
think that
launcher.
the only way to fill that hole is by playing more Destiny. And it feels like you can't just play Destiny casually. The only way to play Destiny is to only play Destiny. Otherwise,
Yes, that's the thing. If I want to go and experience some other game during these 10 years, like, no, you have to be married to Destiny. I think Astacross puts it best. Like, it's a full-time streamer job. I was playing it like a full-time streamer job without being a streamer or a content creator. I wish I would have started way long ago, but my goodness, dude. That's the thing, dude. These games nowadays, I don't know why Sony is investing so much in live services. Like, let it go, bro. Like, you want to earn money, just invest more in God of War and stuff. Like, give us more single player games, games that we can, hit it and quit it. That's the best way to put it, I would suggest. Because how much time can you put in First Descendant, put in Destiny 2, put in Call of Duty itself has become a live service now with checklist. I stopped giving a crap about that. Okay, if I don't get that weapon, fine, I don't get that weapon. I'm just playing for fun. Destiny, you can't do that. I can guarantee you right now I go back, I will feel so out of place because so many weeks have gone by, right? Like, I haven't got that weapon, I haven't unlocked this. You'll be overwhelmed. I tried to get a friend into this game. I just held their hands for 5 minutes and they were just completely lost. For the, with the good heart in me, I can't recommend anyone to get into Destiny 2. However good it was, like even the final shape, people saw raving reviews. I had a couple of friends back home who called me and said, "Hey, you're a Destiny 2 player, right? Like, that's your main game. Like, final shape is blowing up. Like, it's so good. Like, it's worth the money. So should I get in?" I tell them, no, you shouldn't. Like, you can get in, but you have to make the cost benefit analysis. Are you ready to get addicted? And are you ready to grind? For the story, yeah, but I said you're not going to understand the story unless you, see a Bive's 10-hour video. So, couldn't.
otherwise you'll always be behind. Because Destiny never ends. There's always a carrot on a stick that beckons to be chased in the form of bounties, seasonal challenges, catalysts, weekly pinnacles, and titles. They make sure that you're always working towards something in order to give you a sense of false progression, which falls under variable schedules. If there's a constant probability for reward, then the player always has a reason to do the next thing. Now, a lot of games have utilized variable schedules over the years.
Comment below
Open
what
world
game
games
was
do
that,
this a
dude.
lot to
Just
keep
comment
us
below if
invested
anybody
in them
knows
and
it.
to keep us
Please.
coming back. but Destiny does it to keep us playing forever. There are so many things in this game that you level up, so many numbers to increase which provide you with a chroma rush of dopamine each time you do it. Destiny 2 is all about increasing the number, whether it's your power level, your guardian rank, your artifact,
How is he
your
so
battle
on
pass,
point with his
or your
puns,
faction
man?
levels like
Oof.
the Vanguard, Crucible, Gambit, Trials, Gunsmith, Season Pass content, and hell, even some of the guns can be leveled up. Yet the actual gameplay side of things has seen so little improvement or innovation over the years. Case in point, when the seasonal model started, we were throwing balls into a big metal spire. A couple of years later, we were shooting ether off a wall. And now we're carrying crystals, when in reality it feels like we're smoking crystals. I think that Destiny's gameplay scenarios could really use a breath of fresh oxygen SR3.
That is a weak pun, man.
Then
Come on.
to top it all off, there's a pretty
man.
healthy dose of FOMO in here as well. When I quit playing for a few years, I felt like I couldn't have played with my friends, despite them inviting me to, until I caught up on a whole bunch of stuff. Like I would have to complete the entire life.
It's still going on, do you know? Like I heard with the new exotic mission, if you didn't complete all the story beats, you can't complete the exotic mission, even though it was mandatory. Like there was a quest step where it launched you into the exotic mission, but you couldn't complete it or something because you didn't complete the previous week's missions. Like big streamers like Glad came back to it, but they couldn't complete it because they didn't complete the previous weekly story beats. Like you're shooting yourself in the foot, man. Like come on, Bungie.
Lightfall campaign and get my power level up to 1800, which would take several hours. And why would they want to play the Lightfall campaign with me? It's awful. The mission design is trash, the characters are obnoxious, and the difficulty is poorly tuned.
I don't know how he hit me, man.
There's no
both in one hit.
My gun didn't do that much damage to him. All right.
We're back here.
Exit to desktop. I'll see you later. That's bullshit. Then there's seasonal weapons and all sorts of things that eventually just become unobtainable. All the content in this game seems that its days are just numbered until it hits the Destiny content vault. But everything I've talked about in this video isn't new or exclusive to just Destiny. Destiny is far from being the first game to implement any of these psychological techniques, but I think that Bungie has damn near perfected them. When you combine Destiny's amazing movement and gunplay with these psychological techniques, it makes for a game that feels impossible for me to stop playing. We have an incredibly addicting game on our hands here, but we don't necessarily have a fun one. Bungie doesn't need to focus on maximizing the game.
That's what you need to do, guys. You want to break your Destiny addiction, just think about it yourself. Like, you want to have fun or you want to be addicted? Is that fire to fire god roll worth it? In Astacross's case, yeah, definitely. Like, that mofo will, you know, ride the Destiny train till he dies, but that's the passion he has, you know. He has built off his community from Destiny and everything, but I respect that. I watch Astacross's video. I am sub to him, by the way, on Twitch. Like, I love his videos, but oh man, it's time, you know. Sometimes you have to just realize it's not worth it, man. Sometimes it's not worth it. Him being a content creator and stuff, I feel, yeah, he needs to get that fire to fight, to feel that, because he has everything else, you know. What else is he going to do in that?
Fun factor when the player is already buzzing from the prospect of the loot they might get from completing an activity, or that buzz of progression, or that buzz of productivity and getting stuff done, or for leveling something up. They've gotten us to play the same content over and over again by completing countless public events and patrol missions, because all of that eventually leads up to us getting rewards, regardless of how benign and repetitive the activities are. And what I find fascinating about all of this is kind of our fault. Because in a way, we've all been our own enablers of this addiction. And what I mean by that is, when Destiny 2 first came out, all of the weapons had fixed rolls as opposed to the random rolls in Destiny 1. All of the exotics were super easy to unlock, and you hardly had to be lucky to get them. I think I had literally everything the game had to offer within like 6 days of its release. So this was because Bungie did a bunch of things for Vanilla D2 that streamlined the grind. In hindsight, their heart was in the right place when they implemented these changes. Because according to an article on The Guardian, the lead director of Forsaken said this: "We found with Destiny 2, and this is the case I think on any game, that players don't want to be told when to stop playing, even if they probably should stop playing. They want to believe there's always something for them to do, and they want to be able to make that choice on their own." Destiny 2, as much as it was trying to respect players' time, had a very bad way of showing you when you were done playing and not giving you more to do. But everyone hated these changes, myself included, because Destiny 2 was no longer scratching the same itch that the first game scratched. We weren't getting that dopamine from getting lucky.
From the first game, I remembered, I didn't play all the major expansions, you know. I just played base Destiny 2. Sorry, Destiny. It's because back in that time, 2014, 2015, credit cards were not as common, right? Like right now, how it is. So my parents didn't allow me to buy online DLC, and even for me, I have been playing, since the PS2 days. I have owned every console since then: PS2, PS3, Xbox One, everything. So PS4 Pro and everything, so on and so on. Okay, so I am used to getting a disc, and all the thing is in that. Like all the stuff is in that. But when Destiny and stuff, I started getting introduced to it. My first DLC, by the way, was in Call of Duty Ghosts, the second map pack. I remember, they had this gun, that SMG, which converted into an AR. For me, it was like SMG converting into AR. Oh man, I have to get it. And thankfully, that time Sony started accepting debit cards, and that's when I bought my first DLC. But till that time, I just moved on from Destiny 1, thankfully. But as I said again, with Season of the Worthy, I came back to Destiny 2, and it was game over for me.
With a god roll. And even though Destiny 2 was fun to play, the reward centers of our brains weren't being tickled like they used to be. There were no more carrots on sticks to chase once you'd completed the raid, meaning there weren't many reasons to play, which upset the more dedicated players of the Destiny fanbase. Because when you're hooked on Destiny, all you want is
more Destiny.
So as a result, we all complained. And then Bungie listened and made Forsaken more addicting, with random rolls and all sorts of trinkets and abilities to grind for. Then slowly over the years,
I
they
remember
implemented
hearing about
more
it.
stuff to grind
I never played
for
Forsaken.
until we
Of course,
got
I played
to
it later,
where
but
we're at now. Destiny is an incredibly manipulative video game, one that literally thrives off of addiction. Because if you're not addicted to Destiny, it's just not very much fun to play. It's just one mindless activity after the other until you level up enough to play an activity that's
when I started seeing the cracks, once I stopped getting addicted, once I stopped giving an F about, okay, I don't need to get the 5 out of 5. I don't need to complete everything. I don't need to get all the seals and stuff. It's not much fun. Like, it doesn't have depth, like you can make different builds and stuff and all. Yeah, it's fun up to a certain point. But if you're not taking this game seriously, like, you have to play it all the time, you're automatically going to fall off of it, like. So if you want to break this addiction, just first think fun, addiction, and then do you need the 5 out of 5 god roll? Really? Do you need to do the activity again and again and again when there are so many games, Like, I missed out on playing so many games. I didn't play, by the way, Red Dead Redemption 2. Shame, yeah, shame. But I'm still waiting for a 60 FPS boot or something, like a remaster or something of it. I refuse to play it in 30 FPS.
actually fun like a raid or a dungeon. But even then, you're expected to play those activities at least once per week to get all the gear from it. If you don't, eventually that gear might become unobtainable once Bungie puts that dungeon or raid into the content vault. It's almost impossible to just boot it up and play it for a couple hours a week because you'll hardly even make a dent in anything. You won't have leveled up much, you won't have made much progress towards completing your exotic quests.
You see this? Now, me being a veteran, I know what everything means and I know that it's not that overwhelming. Imagine you're a new person coming in and you see this screen. Bro, forging iron, unfinished business, any data. Like, this is just overwhelming to the mind, okay? It's like the choice paradox or something that it's called. Like, oh my god, that's a lot to, just ingest in when you just come in. That's what happened with my friend. I brought him in and he was like, okay, it tells me to go here. Okay, it tells me to go here. Cosmotron this, Cosmotron that. Oh my god. It is a big clusterfuck.
Unlocking more subclass abilities, and odds are you'll most likely have fallen behind your friend's progress, or fallen behind the game itself, as it'll have trickled out some more stuff for you to do and unlock. And I'm not here to be your chaperone. I'm not telling you that Destiny is bad for you or that you should stop playing. That's up for you to decide. For some, it can be a good social outlet, a decent way to relax after work, or even a source of comfort. But for others, it can lead to the demise of all those things. So just ask yourself honestly if you're playing because you're genuinely having fun, or if you're playing because you feel like you have to. I definitely need to stop playing because I can't say I'm having much of a good time. There are so many other games I thoroughly enjoy that I really want to play, like Solar Ash, which just came out on Game Pass and is pretty awesome, or Armored Core 6, which I've played for a few hours and I think is genuinely fantastic, and Lies of P, which I haven't even been able to play yet. But if I play those games instead of Destiny, I'll fall behind. I feel this urge to complete all of these tasks in the game and I can't stop playing. For me, it's not a good addiction. It's a malediction. So the best thing I can do for myself is uninstall the game. Anyway, go watch.
Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? Come on. My brother? Oh, please. He says no. He gets frustrated in trials, okay? Like, oh, he's cheating, he's cheating, he's cheating. He's that kind of a gamer. He'll uninstall the game, okay? Uninstall, I mean, sorry. And then in 2 days, you know what? Arey, no, I have to get that weapon, man. He starts downloading it again. So this uninstall? Nah, man. Who are we kidding?
The review I made for Halo Infinite.
I stopped doing that, by the way. That's why Destiny's still there. I haven't uninstalled it. It's still there. I kept it on a separate hard drive or something, but yeah.
I put a ton of effort into it, and the YouTube algorithm refused to do its job, so go give it a peek. And as always, big thanks to the patrons who make videos like this possible. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
I'm going to link this video about this content creator. RennsReviews. Beautiful, beautiful video. Let me see if I missed any points, talking about it. I think I've covered everything, like there's one thing you need to know about breaking Destiny 2 addiction, That's why I wanted to talk and make this video first, like react to it, because I have been going through it, like Destiny 2 addiction. It's real, guys. It's real, and it gets bad. Like, in the start, how that lady said that her significant other said, oh, he's coming to bed, but yeah, I'm coming, and I still kept playing. It happens so many times, you leave your social life just to play Destiny 2. It's bad. Right now, I have even when First Descendant came, I played it up to a certain amount of point. I love looter shooters, by the way. So yeah, that's it. I played it up to a certain amount of time and I stopped playing First Descendant as well. You know why? It got too addicting. I refuse to give, so much addiction. I refuse to give in so much to a game where it's just, just grinding the same thing again and again, and when it's not fun. When there are so many other games to explore. Right now, I am currently playing Call of Duty the Modern Warfare Season 6. I'm just level 10 or something into the Battle Pass, by the way, not that. I'm way over level 1000 in the overall grand scheme of things, but I'm saying that's what. I'm just playing different games. I'm completing Odyssey. I'm completing little by little each day. That's the only Assassin's Creed which I haven't completed, and Valhalla. I don't know what it is about Valhalla. I played 30 minutes. I just can't get through it. Like, it's boring as fuck for me. Again, back to Destiny. Beautiful video. Give a like. Subscribe to this guy. Subscribe to me as well. Come on, let's get it. Come on. Subscribe, like up, and I'll make my setup better. Black Friday is coming up. I'm thinking to buy all my stuff that time. It just makes sense, Right now, just bear with me. And if you have any constructive criticism, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll always listen. Any way to make my setup better, just let me know. I'm currently plugged into OBS and all my thing is set up, like the voice. I have to get a good mic. Tell me if I need to add more noise suppression or something, because the vent is blowing. I don't know if it's picking up this or no. So peace out, guys.